Hey, just talking about Texas mass time when it was struck by lightning and all the televisions in Norfolk blacked out. The unexpected when you least expect it. But just as another footnote, when I was in Kisumu, Kenya, and there was genocide taking place on the other side of Lake Victoria. Now, Lake Victoria is the size of England, and there was a massive electrical storm all over Lake Victoria, bolts of lightning going from one side of the lake to the other. And the Lord, I just heard the Lord's voice in my spirit, and he said, Johnny, the storm is coming. The sword is out in Africa. The sword is out in the Middle East. The sword is out in the Far East. And the sword is out in Europe. And I know it was, the Lord speaking to me, because I was really surprised when he said, the sword was out in Europe. I could understand the sword being out in Africa, seeing people dancing with fiendish delight in their victims' blood, like I say, mass graves. You could put the population of this into, people even hiding in mass graves to avoid being massacred. And the slaughter was relentless, day in, day out. And I could, understand the sword being out in the Middle East. There's always, trouble and tensions in the Middle East, the Israeli Zionist Islam conflict is precision engineered. Albert Pike, the blueprint for 3 world wars, is set east against west, to fight until complete financial and collapse and so forth, to fight one another, divide and conquer, and then they want to bring out their Luciferian doctrine on the world, the Antichrist New World Order. So war has been precision engineered. Just like some people are saying that this virus, COVID-19, it's mutating, was manipulated and set loose on purpose, was man-made. And they don't care. Mountains of corpses will not stand in the way of their satanic agenda. And their satanic agenda is the extermination of mankind, the internal entrapment and enslavement of mankind. So that is their agenda, the abomination that causes desolation. And Satan the fallen and their hybrid hosts rule and elite. There is no law that protects the innocent from being slaughtered, through their precision engineer wars. And then, I can understand also the sword being out in the Far East, but I say nothing was happening in Europe. So I was surprised when the Lord said to me, Johnny, the sword is out in Europe. And then not long after that, the Balkans erupted into a bloody war, loads of atrocities, Serbia and so forth. And we had mass graves, not on the front doorstep of Europe. And loads of atrocities done on both sides and war crimes. And that seemed like the evil that had manifested in Rwanda had moved to Europe, the Balkans. And we are all in range of the unexpected when we least expect it, on a day just like today. And I did when I was in Malaga, Spain. I went on to one of America's biggest aircraft carriers and was shown around a control room, which I thought was going to be a much bigger control room than what it was. 5,000 personnel, 90 planes, probably got nuclear capacity. And the officer who was showing me around, he said, Johnny, there are thousands of these control rooms all around the world. So when it starts, there will be such a chain reaction. And you had World War I, World War II, that started just by an assassination. Someone pulled a trigger and millions of people, but I say that was all precision engineered to further a satanic agenda. Freemason SS 66 mob, World War I, World War II, just to further their Antichrist New World Order agenda. And it's the same with Rwanda. Someone pulled a trigger that shot down the plane with the president of Rwanda on it. So say someone just pulled a trigger, and 100 days later, over 1 million people had been massacred. You know, I have heard people say that Europe and America could also turn into Rwanda, because say the Freemason fraternal, one of their biggest strategies is divide and conquer. Turn white against black, rich against poor, because the conflict in Rwanda was like the working class rising up against their minority Tutsi rulers, you know, against the wealthy Tutsi minority rulers. You know, they'd had enough. So they said, right, let's just kill the cockroaches, referring to the Tutsis as cockroaches. And the Hutus went out and massacred as many of them as they could. So there's always this, wherever there's opposite, you know, they'll turn Christians and Muslims into a major east-west conflict. East-west, north-south, divide and conquer. Sit back, probably get very wealthy through wars, they always do, but it's not about wealth and power. They've already got trillions of dollars. It's all about bringing forward their Antichrist New World Order, you know, the mark of the beast. And it's clearly, you know, stated too, who can make war with the beast. And the whole world will go out after the beast, worship his image, and take his mark. And saying, lose their priceless eternal soul. And in the big Sandringham serial killer frame, you know, Prince William, who owns Sorco, the RFID chip, Obamacare, the mark of the beast. Well, they certainly put a big mark of the beast on me. And on my frame fixed at Skoda at the time, or on my Volvo estate, to be hunted and set up to cover up their 666 Jack the Ripper crime. Prince Harry and Co. Van and Truro Rich Boys Loft Party. Prince Harry's birthday party at Sandringham, 35 years old, 15th of September. And that's when, you know, how long the poor girl had been there. It was discovered on New Year's Day. You know, her body had been there, you know, from September. So, in rocket science to work that one out. Rich boys having their fun, hunting a 17-year-old girl, or abusing and hunting a 17-year-old girl for a bit of fun. And that's saying, then, because I was at Hitcham 7 miles away, homeless in a disused beach hut, everyone thought they could use me and wrap me up in the black shroud of Sandringham to cover up their crime. So anyhow, God bless, keep sweet, keep safe, and we'll speak again soon. Bye.